What's your overriding memory of being at Augusta in 1990? And was there a turning point in the week where you really felt the tournament was in your grasp?
I don't know about the turning point, really. I mean, I guess you have to go back before. I had good intentions when I went there. I mean, I was defending, which I guess I was winding myself up over that. And remember I was practicing at Wentworth about a month before, and something hit me like forget trying to go and defend it. Just flipped it to telling, well, let's go and win another Masters, rather than taking the pressure and carrying all that. So it was really like go and start again and try and prepare yourself again to go and win a Masters again. And one of the big key things actually was Fanny Sunesson, my caddy, my female caddy, was new to me. We started literally the first couple of weeks in 1990, so that was our very first major together, her first Masters. And I think, I know that. Spending the practice rounds, and I was literally talking my way round the golf course to her, say, well, in the past, I like to hit it here, it's important to go here and go there, and not go here and not go there, that sort of thing. So that was subliminally probably very good, because you're obviously, you're rather than just hitting balls, practice rounds, chipping and putting, doing it, you're kind of really constructed and put myself in the right frame of mind. And
it was the second time in 2 years that you were in a playoff at the Masters. How does that differ to, I guess, coming down the stretch and knowing that you've maybe not got the tournament in the bag, but that you're in cruise control?
Well, you don't know how it's going to, even after 72 holes, you don't know. You're doing the best you can. You're watching the leaderboard. I knew what was going on, and I started that last round in good position, playing with Jack Nicklaus, and I took double bogey up the first, take a 6, and you think. But fortunately, I managed to deal with it straight. I just said to myself, I must make a 4 down number 2. I just must. And I did. And I think that was probably the key thing to the whole day. And then I went on and played a really great back 9. I can remember making. And it's funny. I had a funny little dream that I'd make 2 at 16, and I hold that putt. I hit a really good 6-iron in there, about 15, 18 feet below the hole, and hold the putt, and you can tell by my reaction, it wasn't like, arms up or anything. I just put my head down, I thought, I've seen this before, this means something. It was kind of sending me that message, and I knew I had to hang on. And, you don't know that, what's going to unfold, and you have to be prepared for playoffs. But I was always comfortable in playoffs, because I always thought, it's match play, it's you versus the other guy, and I always thought that, I felt good.
As you said, you were defending the title again that year, or you were defending the title that year. Is that something that you're conscious of when you go into a playoff, that really you're on the doorstep of really something?
Well, you can imagine it. Yeah, I thought, well, here we go again, down the 10th, and I literally hit the same. I popped my blooming drive up a little bit, hit a high on the face, and there's a little knob right in the middle of the fairway, because I landed right on that again. So I'm on the top of the hill, and I hit a poor shot this time. I mean, the 4-iron I hit in '89 was a really good shot. It was only that far offline. When you're standing and look, there's the pin. My ball went there, but it went in the bunker. But this time it wasn't a good shot. I can't remember why. It's a long time ago. So, but you can imagine here you go. But you kind of had to deal with that and get on with it. You can't get kind of wrapped up with all the nostalgia of what went on the year before. You got to keep yourself in present time.
Again, on that defending, I guess the only 3 players that defended at the Masters: Nicklaus, Woods, Faldo.
It was the other way around. It was Nicklaus.
Of course,
Faldo, Woods.
Yeah.
So I joined. That was, any time you can just get level with one of Jack Nicklaus's records, you feel pretty impressed. You feel pretty darn good. And so to be only the second golfer to defend the Masters was really special. And obviously, then Tiger went on to. And then I can say jokingly, it was very nice that Tiger managed to tie one of my records, So it's, but that's a pretty nice threesome, and I hope it stays a 3, for the rest of my life.
That Masters win in 90 was your third major and your second Masters, as we've said. Where does it sit amongst your achievements of the six majors, or is that a hard...
No, yeah, everyone has... Obviously, the first one's very special. First Open, first Masters. But those next three I won were special to me because I was now starting that era when I was either about to be or very close to being number one in the world, and I was going to the majors with the intention to win. So, and the media, same with the media, and I'm the favourite and all those sort of things. And so you take that extra baggage with you, and you have to deal with a lot more than some other guys who can sneak in under the radar. So to prepare yourself, obviously physically, mentally, technically, to go and try and win, and then go and do it. Wow, that was a pretty special time for me.
No other Englishman besides yourself has won the Masters. England's now got three players in the top 10, both Poulter, Casey, Westwood. Yeah. Is this the year, perhaps?
Well, I definitely think this is going to be a year when the European or global golfers are going to be predominantly on that leaderboard. Coming to the weekend, I've got a feeling when might outnumber Americans. Maybe 2 or 3 to 1. And we see how it all unfolds. That is the thing. They're certainly playing well enough. Obviously, Ian Poulter winning, a couple of weeks ago at the match play. It's got to give him a big boost. All those guys are going to prepare themselves for Masters. But it's as I said, it's that final bit. It's the touch. At the end of the day, can you keep? It's touch and patience. A lot of self-discipline there. You can't get carried away just because you've got a wedge in your hand and you think, well, every other week I just fire this at the flag. Augusta, you have to put you put your reins on yourself and play really smart golf. So it's how that all unfolds. But they certainly got the potential to give it a run.
Specific to this week, or your this week as it relates to Asia, you're working with a lot of young players through the Faldo series in Asia and Europe. What is your advice to them about making it on the big stage at the majors?
Well, that's our crowning goal. That's the ultimate theatre to play in. I mean, there's nothing better to be out there on a Sunday afternoon, in contention with your stomach churning, and you kind of have to, in that weird way, say, "Wow, this is great fun, isn't it?" Even though you're down there and you're thinking, "Wow, this is," you can put yourself under as much pressure as you like, But that's the fun of it. It's pushing yourself to see if you've got the ability to, to pull that bow back and fire that arrow. I mean, sometimes it takes a lot to have that 100% self-belief. It really has to be 100%. Once it starts getting dented, you've seen too many shots and you're not quite that 100% sure on, committing yourself to the shot. That's the level you have to be at. I can, at least I can look back now and say, well, I had that on a Sunday afternoon. It was great to be out there thinking and playing, trying to win, rather than hang on or just survive or leave it in the lap of the gods. To actually go out there with it and somehow try and muddle your way around and pull off a win.
On the Faldo series, Rory McIlroy obviously is a famous graduate of the series. Did you ever feel he was going to go on and be successful as he had? And I guess following that up, Masters again at Augusta, is that something?
Well, to be honest, I'm quite surprised because he's just a wee slip of a lad, and he belts the ball a mile and hits the ball very high. Not the characteristics of you coming from Ireland. Obviously, you've played and battled in usually Irish gales and tough weather, and they usually would play it low and some kind of work it and around. So he's obviously developed a very American style of game, hitting the ball high with a lot of spin, which is becoming very useful for him. So if he's, I think Rory's his probably toughest thing is obviously the media. When you have that talent and that expectation put on your shoulders, if he's got his head screwed on right, so he can just get on with it and go and do his own thing, then but he has time. He's a young kid. We don't have to. He don't have to force anything. And I think he's got that. I think he's got that kind of patience to say, hey, wow, I've still got 5 more years of being an apprentice out here. If whatever happens is a real bonus to en route to becoming a seasoned good player.
Has he got the game for the Masters?
He's definitely got the game. Definitely, anybody, if it sets up how they would, apart from being able to control the weather, they can certainly set up the golf course how they can control that. So that is a key shot. If you can hit it a little bit higher than normal and stop it a little quicker than normal, you've got to believe at Augusta that's going to pay off.
As a course designer then, looking at Augusta National, what does it have that makes it this mythical, legendary golf course?
Well, it has the beauty. I mean, that's one of the things. It has that wow factor. You look at holes and the way they're framed. There's for an inland course, it's one of the prettiest. Obviously, with the flowers, the magnolias, the rhodies, the dogwoods, all that sort of thing. It's pretty magnificent. For a design side, it has that scare factor. It's all about once you start missing a few shots on that course, you then look at the next hole differently. And once you start looking at it and thinking, don't want to go there, 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 then you can tell by that you're in trouble, or you start to fear going even worse rather than just, you can be positive and saying, no, that's the wrong place to miss. If I'm going to miss this, I need to be over here or whatever. But they don't really give you those kind of options. Everybody says, well, easy way to play Augusta is you hit the ball below the hole. You have an uphill putt. But when you're standing on top of a hill, the wind swirling, and you're 200 yards out, and they've put that pin there, 5 on 3 from the left, and this just falls down a slope, and if you go down there, it's that deep, the slope, and you can't see the green, then you start to think, wow, so how brave am I? Can I bail out there? Or that's a bit tight, bail out there, and then sure, you bail out there, and then you get and see this putting green that's like glass, and so, it's all those sort of things. So that's what I think it makes it so special, that it's a wonderful blend of golf holes. It's a wonderful rhythm as well. That's a very important part of designing, I think, is, I know they've changed it now for the tournament, but I love the fact you just came out the clubhouse, crossed the road to the range, crossed Magnolia Lane, did your chipping, round the corner to the putting green and onto the tee. There's something about that, the way you're always around the clubhouse, more than 50 yards from the clubhouse doing all of that, which makes it kind of special as well. So, and all of that, and there's definitely an aura down there. It's steeped in history, so it's got everything going for it, I have to say.